Hello everyone! So first I have my bald cap on and I'm just trimming off some parts of it to fit my head. By the way, this bald cap sucks because it's too small in some places and too big in others, and it's just too thick. Blech. Now I am laying down some spirit gum to the edges of my head. Then I'm just gonna wait a little bit for it to get tacky and then place the bald cap on top of the spirit gum and hold it down just for a few seconds until it sticks. Then to blend the horrible edges, I am dabbing on some liquid latex with a cosmetic sponge. Make sure you shake your bottle of liquid latex first. I forgot, and I had a very textury mess. Had to start all over again and peel it all off. It was miserable. While that layer of liquid latex is drying, I am putting on some elf ears. I borrowed these from a friend, but I'm sure you can totally find these at a Party City or any Halloween store. And to help them stay on, I am applying a little bit of spirit gum on the bottoms and tops of the ears. And then holding it down just for a few seconds. And to blend the seams, I am dabbing some liquid latex to the edges as well. On to another layer of liquid liquid latex. So used to doing beauty tutorials. Liquid latex. I did 10 or so layers just to blend that seam in, but this bald cap sucks. Don't buy Graftobian's bald cap, ever. I saw online you can make your own, so I will probably be doing that next time. So now for brows, I'm combing them up with a spoolie, and then with the end of a makeup brush, I scraped off some product from my Elmer's purple glue stick. Fancy. And started rolling that into my brow and making sure to glue them up so they lay flat on the skin. And it will also be easier to paint over and cover. This is also an old drag queen trick many of you already know about. And if you don't know now, you know. Once that's dry, I am setting my brows with some translucent powder. Pizza break, boom, ba-chum, ka-chum, ba-chum, coop. Next, I'm taking this beautiful blue from my Makeup Forever Flash Color Palette, and with my Real Techniques buffing brush, wow, that's a mouthful, I'm just tapping that all over my head, my ears. This bald cap soaks up a ton of product, so it's really hard working on that surface. And not to mention, it still created a harsh line separating my head to my forehead, breaking the illusion. Hate this thing. Then I'm putting in contacts before I cover the rest of my face because I do tear up a lot, so. And these are Sclera contacts, just black Sclera contacts. I'll leave a link down below where I got mine. Now I'm just covering the rest of my face. Neck, ears, my back. Nope, not going there. Don't go there, Rosa. Neck, 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 get that neck. And don't forget the ears. Then I'm going back and setting that with some translucent powder. This looks hilarious. Here I am just rolling in some of that dark blue from the same palette in my ear hole to cover up any skin color showing. And with the remainder product, I'm just, rubbing that on the contours of the ear. Next, I am taking Sugarpill Eye Shadow in Afterparty with a tapered blending brush, and I am blending that into the inner brow bone area and feathering that color upward. Also, I'm using a different brush, not using the same one I cleaned my ear out with. I have 2 of the same brush, so shout out to Bretman Rock, by the way. Then I'm just dusting that same color on the tip of my nose and around my lips, under my eyes, wherever I feel needs some dark blue. With the same brush, I am taking Sugarpill's Dollipop and dusting that on the tips of my ears. And to my upper lip, but I added a bit too much, so I blended that out with my Furless Angled Contour brush. Because it was looking a little stashy. Then I'm adding some pink to the tip and edges of my chin, and then I blended that out with the same angled brush. And then I am contouring with that pink. First, I am placing that color down with the tapered blending brush. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and blend and buff out those harsh lines with my Furless contour brush. Angled contour brush. This is also when I realized that the eyeshadow doesn't stick to the bald cap and instead it creates a harsh line where the skin and bald cap meet. I hate this thing. Did I mention it? And here I am just adding more blue with an even bigger fluffy brush. So next I'm just taking a darker blue, this one's in Velocity, also from Sugarpill, and I'm just darkening up some areas, like my inner brow bone area, under my eye, the tip of my nose. Really any spot I felt needed some contrast. Now with another tapered blending brush, I am packing on Buttercupcake, also from Sugarpill, onto my lid and bringing that color all the way towards the arch of my brow. Now I'm just adding some pink right beside that yellow. And to my jawline. And to my bald cap that does nothing but suck. And to help blend those color lines into my bald cap, I am taking the yellow and magenta from my Makeup Forever Flash color palette, and I'm just tapping that color in. I'm also adding a little strip of yellow to the middle of my head, coming down to the center of my forehead. And as you can see, not blending so well. to add some cute little freckles, I'm using NYX's Vivid Brights Eyeliner in Vivid Halo. Next, I'm stippling on my wing liner with NYX's Liquid Suede in Jet Set, and that is on my Smith 202 brush. And as you can see, I added some blue freckles down the yellow strip. And then I'm going to do the same thing to my lower lash line, but creating an upside down triangle that trickles down. Then I am lining my waterline with Makeup Forever's Aqua XL pencil in M30, which is a mint green. And for lips, I'm using Urban Decay's lip liner and lipstick in Pandemonium. Here I'm adding more freckles with that blue liquid lipstick and more yellow to the top yellow strip. I don't know why that took forever for me to spill that out of my mouth. And then you're done! Just throw on a leather jacket, kick down the door, and prance around town in this super wearable everyday look. I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial, and since we're at the end, I confess that I taped the back of my bald cap. That's why hairs are sticking out. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all soon. Bye!